Welcome to the Huxley Public Library and Cathy's Corner. Come on in and see what we have. The library is full of great new books, new stories, and new adventures. Just look at all the things we have to explore here. Come on in. We're going to read some stories. I cannot believe that summer is almost over. I hope you've been reading a lot of good books this summer. I know I have, and I've really enjoyed all the kids that have been coming to the library and keeping up on all those skills before they go back to school. But now it's time to think about going back to school, and there's so many things we need to get. Maybe a new calculator, or I have a brand new box of markers, and I always love it when I get to open new markers or new crayons. I think I need to get some new notebooks. This one's about done, empty and scribbled in and bent up. You might be shopping for some of those too. And we usually need scissors, and I know we're gonna need pencils for school and maybe glue. There's a lot of things on that supply list you get from your teacher. But one of the most important things we do getting ready to go back to school is remembering some of the rules and some of the procedures about riding a bus. And I think school buses are pretty cool when we watch them go down the street. They're big and they carry lots of kids back and forth to school and to field trips and to ball games. But there are a lot of things we have to remember, and I thought it might be really fun to go meet one of the school bus drivers today. So let's take a trip down across town and we'll go see if we can find a school bus driver and maybe even get a ride on the school bus. What do you think? Let's go see if we can find one. Bus driver that can tell us more about the school buses we were talking about. Let's look around. Found a bus. Hey, Marty.
Hi, Cathy. What are you doing here?
Well, I was talking to my friends about getting ready to go back to school, and we talked about getting glue and pencils and notebooks and all those things, but then we started talking about the really fun part about going back to school is riding on a bus.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I'd see if I could find a bus and a driver, and here you are.
Here we are.
Yay. Do you have some time to talk to us?
Sure.
Show us around the bus? There's a lot of them here. How many buses are there, Ballard?
Ooh, I don't know, 20-some?
20-some buses, wow. So a lot of kids ride the bus.
Yeah.
So they get on in the morning, they get to school, sometimes they change buses even.
Yeah, we meet at the middle school, a lot of the buses, and switch buses there, and then go to the different elementary schools and the high school.
So is that kind of scary?
It takes a couple days for the kids to figure out the routine, but
if you get on your bus and you learn which bus is next,
right,
It's not scary at
No,
all then.
not at
You
all.
just learn and ask some questions.
Ask some questions, and we got plenty of there people to help the first couple days and make sure they know where they're going.
So I think the bus driver would be a good person to ask. There'll be an adult on the sidewalk they could ask.
Yep, usually some adults on the sidewalk.
So it's not scary to ride the bus at all.
No,
No, even if it's big.
it's big.
Do you like being a
It's
bus
fun.
driver?
Most of the time.
I don't know. I don't think I would be a very good bus driver. I pulled up in my little car. This looks pretty big. But I would really love to show the kids inside.
Sure.
Could we do that? Let's go inside the bus and see what it looks like in there. I haven't been on the inside of a school bus for a long time, but I rode one back and forth to school every day when I was a kid. So it's kind of fun to be back inside the bus, Marty. This is your seat, obviously, where you're going to drive the bus. And the kids are all back here. Do they sit in the same seat every day?
Oh, they can. They can really sit wherever they want.
Okay.
Sometimes they sit in the back, sometimes they sit in the front, sometimes, yeah, wherever they want.
Okay, but they always come in up the steps into their seat. There's no other door in or out.
Only a safety emergency door in the back, but usually this is the one they normally use.
Okay. Well, I would assume that there are some sorts of rules for riding the bus. We
Yes.
want everybody to be safe, and we definitely want everybody to have a good time getting to school and getting
Yeah.
home again.
Certainly we want them to have fun, talk with
Mm-hmm.
their friends and stuff, but obviously the number one goal for us as drivers is to get them there safely
Mm-hmm.
and home safely.
So your job is driving the bus,
Right.
not really micromanaging, or if somebody's making a mess back here, your job still needs to be to keep them safe and be driving, right?
So anytime my attention can go off the road, that's not a good thing.
Right.
So if the kids are yelling, whenever you hear someone yell, it gets your attention. It could be a good yell or a bad yell, but it's a yell.
Yeah.
Anytime they're fighting, not sitting in their seats, getting in the aisle, any of those kind of things gets our attention off the road.
So I think it's important that kids probably stay in their seats on the bus and not yelling and doing those other things.
Right. So we got
Okay.
a couple basic rules.
Oh,
Sitting
I see.
down,
You got them right there. Number 1, sit down.
keeping their hands to themselves, so
Yeah,
they don't
'cause
cause
if you're
any commotion,
Messing with the person
aggravation,
next to you, that
fights.
doesn't always go well.
Then then we have to deal with that.
Okay.
Keeping their voice down so it doesn't distract the driver.
So your rule says a level 2 voice. What's a level 2 voice,
Level
Marty?
2 is just a normal talking voice.
So just like you and I
Number
are
1 is a
talking
whisper.
right now. Okay.
3 is an outside yelling voice.
So if you're just talking to your friends like Marty and I are talking now, that'd be perfect on the
Inside
bus.
school voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And number 4, no eating.
No eating. That's probably more for the drivers. So we don't have
You
to
can't
pick up
have
the
your
mess.
snacks. Yeah, well, but eating on the bus could get pretty messy, couldn't it?
It could.
Yeah, so
could.
I understand that. You'll get a snack when you get home. It'll be fine. You don't need to eat on the bus. So we're going to sit down, keep hands to ourselves, just a normal talking voice, and no eating.
Yep.
Good rules to
Just
have.
have fun, talk with their friends, make new
Okay.
friends.
Do kids do their homework sometimes on the bus?
Sometimes they'll ask me for a pen or pencil to do their homework.
Yeah.
So they'll get a head start.
So you might need to have some school supplies with you, have a book to read, do some of those other things on the bus that aren't getting you in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the windows? Do kids open the windows themselves on the bus?
Yes, they can. When it's warm out,
Yeah.
they can put down the windows.
So they can control that.
They like to
a
say
little
roll
bit.
down the windows, which is usually what we did when we were old. I said, no, you can't roll them down, but you can put them down.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think that there are some good things to remember about keeping safe in the bus. But what about outside, Marty? Are there rules about being safe even
Those are
outside
some of the most
the bus?
important rules.
You've got all kinds of mirrors. When I look out your front window, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mirrors at least, maybe more. So you see a lot of things going on outside.
That's the goal, is to try to see all around the bus.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's no incidents.
So what's one really important thing, though, if you were outside the bus? Who or what would you be looking for to be safe?
So a couple key things for kids. I mean, obviously they shouldn't be around the bus at all unless they're coming in or out.
Okay.
Certainly behind the bus is a very dangerous place because
You can't
it's
see
hard
behind.
to see everything behind
Yeah.
the bus, especially
This-
real close to the bus.
The buses are big, and if you're behind it, Wow, you wouldn't be able to see that.
Yeah.
So that's a bad place to be. Okay.
And then definitely in front of the bus can be dangerous too if they're too close and we can't see, because right now, without those mirrors, I couldn't see right in front of the bus. And so that's why when the buses stop
close.
and we put our lights on, for most buses there's a stop arm that goes out,
Yep.
both for drivers and for the kids.
Oh, so not even just people walking around the bus, but people driving around a bus have to be careful.
Because you could have a kid crossing the street and a driver not seeing
Yeah.
them, and that wouldn't
So
be good.
it's not just kids walking around the bus being safe. Adults that are driving have to be careful and be safe around the buses. Okay. Well, maybe we should go back outside.
So,
and
well,
look at some of
one
those
big
things.
rule
Oh, I want to hear the
for
big
the
rule.
kids is that if they can't see the driver when they're outside the bus, the driver can't see them. And so that's not a good position to be in.
That makes a lot of sense.
You
If
wanna be
you're
able to see the
standing
bus.
outside and you can't look in and see the driver cannot see you. That's a good thing to remember. Thanks, Marty.
So we can put the arm out if you want to go outside and
Yeah,
see what
let's
that
go
looks like.
outside and see and talk about some of the other things outside the bus. Yeah, I think it would be great fun to be riding a bus again. Let's go.
So when the buses stop, obviously the red lights come on.
Yep, I see red
and
lights
the
flashing.
crossing arm goes.
So this prevents anybody from walking right in front.
So it prevents
I
the
can't
kids
walk
from
here.
walking too close to the bus.
I'd have to go all the
have to
way
go around.
around.
And the only
I
place you
see.
want to cross the street is in front of the bus when the driver gives you a thumbs up that it's clear.
So again, we have to pay attention to the driver.
Make eye contact.
Looking at him.
Look at the driver. He'll give you a thumbs up that it's okay to cross.
Because the driver can see on the other side.
The driver will see
You
if there's
can't.
any cars coming the other way.
So that's important. And that makes it more fun. You know you're safe. It's
Know you're
always
safe.
better when you're safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I see the lights flashing here, and if I look around, I see more lights flashing on a stop sign. What's that stop
So
sign?
that stop sign is the one that tells the cars to stop when the kids are getting on and off.
Okay. So that's very, very important.
Very important, yes.
Well, I still think it's going to be fun to ride the bus. And if I were a kid getting ready to go back to school, this is one of the things I would be looking forward to. So get those pencils, get those notebooks, get your glue and your books ready to go, and be ready to ride the bus with Marty or one of the other great bus drivers here at Ballard. We'll make it a good, safe trip for you. And I have lots of other things to show you inside the bus. I might have found a book in there we could read about a bus trip. You want to come do that? Well, we got back on the bus and I found my seat. I decided I like to sit in the front. But you know, when I was at the library, I did find some books about buses and even bus drivers. I brought them along. So if you want to find out more about what Marty does and what the other bus drivers do, I have a book about school bus drivers. And it says a lot of the same things that he just told us about. So a book is always a good reminder for the rules and learning about a new job. And I found a couple other storybooks, Rumble Bus and The School Bus Comes at 8 o'clock. Now, I don't know what time your bus picks you up, but it's the same time every day. So we do have to remember those times, don't we? And I also found this big book, I'm Your Bus. Maybe we should look at that one a little bit here. I'm Your Bus. Howdy, you can count on us. Morning, evening, I'm your bus. Sweepers sweeping, bakers baking, dawn is barely even breaking. Time for buses to be waking. That kind of looks like the bus barn here, doesn't it? All the line of buses ready to go in the morning. Hurry, hurry, now it's 8. Busy buses can't be late. In the morning, we won't wait. past the waving traffic cop, past the friendly tire shop. There's the school zone. Buses, stop. Lined up in front of the school, just like they do at the middle school in Ballard East and Ballard West. Watch those backpacks coming through. Have fun today and learn something new. Later, we'll come back for you. On the seats we buses find lots of school books, every kind. Pencils, glasses left behind, bats and caps. Oh dear, don't forget your stuff on the bus. But if you do, I bet the bus driver will keep it for you. Buses may take you to see a zoo, a farm, or a factory, and they'll wait outside patiently. We use the buses for field trips too, don't we? Taxis zip by on their way to an airport or cafe. Buses go home, sit and stay. The school day's at an end. Kids are leaving. They depend on each bus to be a friend. Buses lined up in a row. Find your bus and off you'll go. It's easy to find your bus, you know. You're going to get some instructions at the beginning of the school year about your bus number and also a picture on the side of the bus of an animal that will help you always get on the right bus. So pay attention to those directions. And come check out some of these books at the library and remind yourself of the rules and just get another great story about riding on the school bus. Hey, riding on the school bus. Marty, would you give me a ride back to the library?
I guess we can do that.
Hey, then I'll get my ride on a bus. Let's go. I'm going to sit. I'm going to keep my hands to myself. I promise not to yell, and we'll get back to the library together. I can just look at my book while we're driving. That's a good thing to do on the bus.
Go, Cathy.
Thank you so much for the ride.
Pleasure.
That was fun. I had a great bus ride back to the library. I'm going to go put my books away and save them for you to come check out and see if I can even find some more. Thanks for joining me on this adventure today at the bus barn and back at the library, and I'll see you next time at Cathy's Corner.